Good evening, NPSL soccer fans. This is Daniel Feuerstein here for the National Premier Soccer League show, episode number 3 of the 2025 season. Welcome back, NPSL soccer fans, giving you your coverage of your league in the National Premier Soccer League inside American soccer. Great to have you all joining me tonight. And as we get ready for another wonderful evening of NPSL action and NPSL talk, as we are looking at the standings of what's going on in all the different conferences, it has been tremendous to watch how some of these leagues are acting and going, or, especially with this short season league with the NPSL. But still, though, um, we are having very good action with these clubs. Absolutely fantastic. And all I can say is, once again, the National Premier Soccer League does not disappoint you with the action on the pitch. They are doing tremendous work to give not just entertainment, but incredible soccer going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Just wonderful action coming at you, talking about the game in this country. And once again, you got players that are exciting to watch. You have games that, as you all know, local rivalries, local derbies, coming up big and coming up strong. And this is going to be a fun one this season so far. And let's not forget, some clubs, of course, going into other soccer tournaments like the Hank Steinbrecher Cup that we'll talk later on this show. Two clubs that were involved in it in the semifinal, and they faced each other both of them from the NPSL, and of course one of them went to the final and went on top. So just excellent stuff here as we get ready for tonight's show. And once again, when you look at these leagues, below the professional leagues, and you think to yourself, what would happen, um, if these clubs ever made it big time to the big leagues? Look, hopefully one day they will. Hopefully there'll be a Nashville. Hopefully there'll be a Detroit City. And those two sides started in the National Premier Soccer League. So, anything is possible, and whatever happens in this league. So we'll see what's going on down the road, of course, when we get to the playoffs. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the league that I give a lot of respect for, a lot of credit for what they have done to get off the ground. And it's just tremendous. It's just wonderful to watch, and it's wonderful to always look up what is going on in the league, as I am here to get some more information, of course, as we get ready to talk about the NPSL, and as we continue on here on the American Soccer Show here to talk about what is going on. And once again, um, when you see clubs that are doing amazing things, like Milwaukee Torrent, as they are currently leading the Central States Conference, undefeated at the moment. And we do have some undefeated clubs leading their respective conferences, of course, as Milwaukee Torrent right now, with 5 wins in all their 5 games. And of course, you've got teams that are not doing so well. Unfortunately, Southern Indiana Guardians, I believe in their inaugural season right now in the NPSL, they have lost all 6 games. So, look, there is reward and there is heartbreak, but that's how it's always been. That's how the sport's always been. Any sport, does not matter what goes on. And, when you look at clubs like in the Great Lakes Conference, Flower City Union, they are also undefeated, 5 consecutive wins in their first 5 matches of the season. And, they got to play a daunting schedule against their fellow rivals, especially in those Buffalo Stallions, Syracuse FC, Rochester, New York FC Academy. Um, that Western New York situation is really, really difficult. And let's not forget Niagara 1812, of course. And then, of course, you go to Ohio with the Ambassadors and Cleveland SC. And then, of course, you have in Pennsylvania Erie Commodores. They have always been a tough side to battle against when you got to face them, whether it be in the regular season within your conference or even if they do go into the playoffs. And it should be exciting and it should be fun once we get to the playoff positionings. And once again, even in the Southeast, like the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Right now, Jacksonville Armada, who are looking to start their professional side in MLS Next Pro next season, I believe. Their under 23 squad right now is also undefeated, 5 wins in their first 5 matches of the season. So, and Naples United only, they're undefeated as well, but they have only a draw and 4 wins in their 5 matches played. So unbeaten, I would say, currently, as they are only 2 points behind Jacksonville Armada FC's under 23 squad. And of course, you have Club de Leon, you have FC Florida, Miami Dutch Lions FC. Unfortunately, Global Soccer Pathways not doing well. Um, there was a club here that was supposed to be there at TBA, but they have not played a match. I guess they're not going to play this season if something has come up. And don't forget, there's also PSC FC Florida. So we'll get to see what's going to happen here in down the road when we go into um, the playoffs. And in the Lone Star Conference right now, Oklahoma United FC unbeaten in their first 6 matches, 5 wins and a draw for 16 points. Lubbock Matadors with 13, playing 6. West Texas right now with 14. Fort Worth Vaqueros with 12. Arkansas Wolves with 7. And FC Brownsville at this point in time doing well, but um, at the moment in last. And CF10 Houston FC, first 5 games, lost all 5. So this is where we are always making sure that we pay attention to what goes on in the National Premier Soccer League. And we got to make sure that everything, everything we inform all of you the situations that are going on here. Southeast Conference, of course. Hickory FC undefeated first 6 matches, 6-0-0, and with 18 points. Charlottetown Hops, they have 13 in second place. Port City FC, they are in third, tied for third with Appalachian FC with 9 points, just better on the differential, the plus 13, and Appalachian has a plus 9. Bristol Rhythm with 6 points with a plus 9. Greenville United, they've played 1 game more. So even though they do have 7 points, they have already played a match more than Bristol Rhythm. That's where they are at this point in time. And of course, 865 Alliance doing decently, I'd say, 4 points, unfortunately. Burlington United FC, one of those expansion sides, and unfortunately, they are currently in last place, only with a single point that they've earned in 1 draw in their 6 matches played. So, once again, as we've already said to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very difficult league in the many different regional conferences that are around. So, all you can do and hope for is your side finding the right formula to go out there and finding a way to get the necessary results to make it to the playoffs. And once again, you hope when you get on that playoff run, when you reach around the level where the most important mechanism that you have to qualify for, and that is the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. the U.S. Open Cup, the holy grail of local national football. Because when you reach that quarterfinal round, I believe it is, and you are one of 8 sides, 2 per region in the East, South, Central, West, to reach the U.S. Open Cup is something special, spectacular, and all you can hope for is to see these clubs battling it out and reaching that pinnacle destination. I mean, I continue to try and get everyone to understand that this is the number one competition across the country in the 48 mainland states. The 2 non-mainland states, of course, Alaska, Hawaii, if they ever want to put clubs there, they're more than welcome to do so. But obviously, it's always about the distance. But then again, you never know. But still, though, once again, when we have these leagues going, it is absolutely amazing. And all you can do is just sit back, relax, and watch the action in front of you. And you do, when you do, you'll see definitely, without a doubt, that this league is just trying to show everyone across the country why this is a very exciting league to watch. We have great players, we have great owners, great head coaches, and all I can say is this is that this is the stuff that I get excited for when I see these clubs in action. So all you guys got to do is just sit back, relax, buckle up, get the hot dog, get the burger, get the popcorn, get your favorite drink, and enjoy the action in front of you. That's all. Um, and all I can really keep saying is this, you want to make sure that you're going to have a lot of fun and you're going to go out there and enjoy yourselves. So that's all I can say. That's all I can do is to point you in the right direction. It's not just what goes on in the Major League Soccer. It's not just what goes on in the United Soccer Leagues, whether it be Championship, League One, League Two. Obviously, NISA doing well. Also, League for Clubs. But the NPSL is right there with them. So it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. And this is why I love doing this show. To introduce you, even if you're not a fan of the National Premier Soccer League, you could be one right now. As I introduce you to these players and these coaches and these owners, members of the front office that work tirelessly to get these leagues ready to go and perform for 90 minutes. It's exciting and it's fun and it's fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a great show for you tonight. Let's go ahead and start off with my first guest. Comes from New Jersey United AC. And this gentleman will be joining us right now. This is Mr. Fernando Barboto. And he is, let's see if he's on here right now. Fernando, are you there? And how are you, sir? Well, think Fernando is not yet ready to join us, so we'll just wait for him to get back. And we have a little bit of a connection issue right now, so we're waiting for Fernando to um, get back in here, and hopefully he will be with us very shortly. New Jersey United AC, of course. And let's see here. Maybe we have him back. Let's see if he can join us right now. And hopefully he's rebooting. Yep, there we go. Now we have him back. We got the connection. Here he is right now from New Jersey United AC, Fernando Barboto joining me right now. Fernando, I hope your connection issues are clear finally. Welcome to the show tonight, and how are you? And let's see if you can unmute the microphone. Let's see here. Got the technical difficulties. No, I can't hear you still.
Now?
Yeah, there we go. There we
There we
go.
go. Okay.
Thank you so much, Fernando. Listen,
Sorry.
you're not the first and you shall not be the last. I've had my technical issues too, so don't worry about that. But thank you for joining me tonight. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. For those of us that are not familiar where New Jersey United AC play, where do you guys play in what town in Jersey?
We play New Brunswick at Memorial Stadium. That's Central Jersey, basically, right next to Rutgers University.
And has that been an advantage for you, getting some of the Rutgers players to come play for you when either on their off season from college soccer or when they graduate from Rutgers?
Well, we just moved to that stadium in that town. Last year, we played out of Metuchen, New Jersey, which is 30 minutes north.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully next year, we'll have a better chance of picking up some Rutgers players.
Absolutely. So at this point in time, what have you liked with your club so far this season? What are some of the things you've enjoyed, and what are some things you think you can do better?
Well, I think what we've done well is played collectively, played as a team. I know our name is United, but that's something that we preach. And so I think when we come onto the field, we've really battled for each other. Everybody's selfless and willing to defend for each other in all areas of the field. So I think that's something that's been really strong on our end. Do I feel that we could score more goals? Of course, right? Do I feel that we could have gotten one or two more shutouts? Agreed, right? But those are the things that you talk about with the team, and you address at training, and then try to apply it on game day.
Absolutely. And being in that Keystone Conference, and I know you're in the eastern side of the Keystone Conference, that's been a conference, regardless when it was whole or the two splits, one east, one west. It's so difficult. It's so hard. Excuse me. I mean, it's not just battling your regular opponents in New Jersey, but you got to face opponents also from New York, from Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania. What has that challenge been against these clubs from your region?
Yeah, I think we played in the Western New York Conference last year, so this is our first year in this conference, and it's a really tough conference. Every game is a battle. Every team has super talented players, and some talented coaching going on, to say the least.
No, it really, really does. I've seen it firsthand, of course. And we're going to go ahead and throw this up here. I hope you love the graphic. There you go. Of
Yeah.
course, I have to highlight your club's logo, of course. And first place right now.
Excuse me.
No, that's fine. 5 matches already, 5 wins, 15 points. What has surprised you with your squad this season, off to this great start?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you go 5-0 like that, you look at things and you try to reflect and understand what is the why are we having so much or success to this that much success to this point. I think we spoke about it. We had like a little preseason uh, uh, week before our first game, and we talked a lot with the group. That this is a really tough conference. That FC Motown has massive tradition, winning an NPSL a couple of years ago, going to the finals last year, and then Jackson also being very good as well. They had a good season last year, coming in second, I believe. So we talked about each team, and top to bottom, the league is very strong. So we had that mindset going in that we're kind of the underdog, the David, the David Goliath. But that that's worn out now, right? We 5-0. This tomorrow's game is we're going to be the hunted, to say the least.
Absolutely. And your next opponent will be this weekend against?
Philly Union.
Okay. And that will be there or at your place?
It'll be at their place at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
What's it like to face against the Philadelphia Union's developmental squad? Obviously, that's the only club right now that represents Major League Soccer that has these kids that are going through their academy. What is that like to face against upcoming talented players from an MLS side?
Yeah, it's quite challenging. As you know, their squad is quite young, but super talented, super skillful, very technical. Um, uh, these players that they like to take chances. They're not afraid to take guys on 1v1. They're not afraid to pull the trigger from distance. There's a couple that are quite creative as well. So it's tough, right? It really is.
No, it really is. And of course, like you said, FC Motown, a lot of history in this league. They've been in several finals themselves. I believe they've won one of those finals. One of them I remember being over at Drew University. They took on, at the time, Miami FC, unfortunately, falling to them in the final. Even though it was a great final. They made it really compelling, but Miami FC took the victory in that one many, many years ago. When you go down to Jackson, New Jersey, and take on the Lions, what differences do you see between them and the Philadelphia developmental unit, as well as what Motown does?
Yeah, I think we went down to Jackson last week, midweek, and they hadn't lost a home game in 2 years. Um, and not an easy place to play, right? And they have good players, they have experienced players, they have a mixed bag of some young college players and some guys that are out of college. So that's a different dynamic than Philly Union. And FC Motown is it's the same, right? It's a mixed bag of guys. They have very few college. To be fair, they have very few college players, but they all have ex pros who for one reason or another stopped playing at the other leagues, and have signed on to FC Motown. They're very difficult to play against. We beat them 1-0 at their place. Um, but we had to defend a lot, and we suffered a lot in that game. In certain moments, especially in the second half, once we were up 1-0.
Yeah, no, very good. Um, for those of us not familiar with your squad, who right now has the hot foot? Who at this point in time has done very well for New Jersey United AC?
Yeah, I think there's two players that are hot offensively, um, Diego Navas and Max Smith, who's my son, Barbodo. They're both doing really well. Diego has, I believe, 4 goals, um, and 2 assists, and Max has 2 goals and 4 assists. So those two players are really hot right now, and I think our goalkeeper is too. Max, his name is Max. I think he's got 3 or 4 shutouts.
Oh, that's great. And if you get three or four clean sheets out of those five wins, I mean, hey, who am I to argue? That's pretty darn good. That's absolutely darn good. So very happy to hear that. Um, you know, what was what is this goal, besides developing players? Obviously, you want to give them a sense of positive play, go out there and do some damage, of course. What have you seen so far uh, as well when you see your squad go out there and battle each and every 90 minutes?
Yeah, listen, I try to, we have some college players, mostly college players, but I want them to learn to be, you know, to be who they are, right? To go out there and express their game in a team concept, and um, I don't put restrictions on players. I let them be free flowing, if you will, on the field, and trying to, you know, keep possession of the ball in the attacking third, be creative, take players on. Those are the things that I try to teach them, because I think sometimes, they come from really restricted teams where coaches, just restrict players from being who they really are. And we don't do that. We let them really express themselves on the field.
No, I'm glad to hear that. Very, very happy to hear that. So, how long has New Jersey United AC been in the NPSL?
This is our second season. So last year was you know, our birth to the NPSL, and our first year as a club. So we've been, like we said, we've been doing this for about 20 months now.
That's fantastic. That's great to see this club doing something special this season. As we continue on here, of course, what type of style? Not going to ask you for the playbook, obviously. I don't want to ask you about that. But do you like to press? Do you like to defend? Do you like to counter? What fits a New Jersey United AC, and what makes this club tick?
Listen, I think we have basic attacking principles and basic defending principles, right? And we teach the kids that. We give them their packet so they can read through it in the preseason. But I think, and we want to play possession, attacking football. We want fans to enjoy coming to the game and watching creative players, do a little magic, right? Everybody wants to see that, and I'm for it, and we support that, 100%. But I think from game to game, based on your opponent, things can change, right? Like, against FC, we want to be a possession team, but against FC Motown, we didn't possess as much as we would have liked because they're that good, right? So every game is like a new play, right? It depends on the opponent. Sometimes the opponent makes you play poor. Sometimes it helps you to play better because they sit back and you can possess, or you sit back a little bit and you counter or you high press. So we've done it all in every game, and kind of different tactics, if you will, per game.
Absolutely. And can't wait to see what you're going to do here towards the rest of this regular season. Fernando, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Good luck with the rest of the season, and hopefully you'll make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's Fernando Barboto from New Jersey United AC as he joins us tonight to talk about his club. And just a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and can't wait to continue on here tonight. And we will continue on here tonight. Joining me right now, he is the head coach of Hartford City FC. And this is Mr. Andy Parker, head coach. Andy, welcome to the show, and how are you?
Daniel, thanks for having me. Good. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you for joining me tonight. I have to ask you, and of course, it's not just your club that's in the Nutmeg State and in the city of Hartford, but you have Hartford Athletic of USL Championship. How has this partnership been? I know you probably both play in the same stadium in Hartford. How's it been so far?
It's been great. It's a great facility to play our home matches, to play in a professional stadium, and the quality of the facility is definitely top notch. Obviously, we're a little bit different as an amateur side than Hartford Athletic, but the ability to play our home games at Trinity Health Stadium is definitely a draw to our players and us as coaches, and also fans. Want to go watch a match at a quality venue.
No, absolutely. And that's great to hear. And I'm very happy to hear that. And so far this season with Hartford, we'll post it right here. This is brand new for me, new technology and everything. I hope you'll like it too. And there it is right there. At the moment, you do have two matches in hand, but currently in top of the North Atlantic Conference. What has been the difference so far for Hartford this season than maybe in past years?
Honestly, I think it's just the quality of players and people that we have. We have a large roster, but we have a large amount of really good people and committed players that understand, the values of the club, what the NPSL season is like. We've had some guys who've been around the club for a long time that have had a big impact, like Mark Grant and Noah Silverman and Nate DiLoretto, guys that have been around the club a lot longer than I have. So it's been great to understand the history of the club and also bring in some new guys in terms of creating a very competitive environment to help keep moving the club forward. And still 5 games to go, so anything can happen. So we're really just taking things one game at a time.
Hmm. Obviously, you have some new opponents this season. American Soccer Club New York, based out of Long Island, Osners FC over in Queens, and of course New Haven United. They're new as well. What has been challenging to face these new teams, these new expansion sides coming into this conference?
Well, I think every game is honestly a new game in terms of rosters are never the same, guys in and out of the lineup, same as the opponent. We've played New Haven 3 times in our first 5 games. So that was a little bit of an oddity in the schedule. But I think every game is a new challenge in terms of the players that you have available, the players that the other team has available. So every game is a new problem to solve, which is also exciting for us as coaches and the players.
Now, obviously, with New Haven coming in, you're having a Connecticut derby right now. What has that been like playing against New Haven?
It's been awesome to play a quality side, 45 minutes down the road, right? A lot of our guys know each other, some of the staff know each other. So to play in a competitive environment, against New Haven, I think is just good overall for the state of Connecticut in terms of, growing the game of soccer.
Exactly. And for those of us not familiar with Connecticut now, I mean, everyone knows Hartford. You have UConn not far away. Obviously, you'll get the talent from there to come to your club whenever you can. But now that there's another Connecticut club there, and going up and down the state, north, south, east, west, what is about the talent in Connecticut that some of us are not too familiar with that makes you happy that you have a lot of abilities to bring in someone new to mesh in with your current roster?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Connecticut has a lot of talent that goes on to play at top schools all across the country. And being a small state, I still think it has a pretty historic soccer culture. From Joe Maroney in the Yukon days to all the talent spread throughout Fairfield County, across the state, there's a lot of talent for a small state, that may not always be recognized on the national scale, but overall, I think it's a testament to the overall level of soccer in our state.
No, absolutely. That's great. That's pretty good to hear. And then, of course, you're facing the New York Shockers near Albany. That's I don't think Albany's that far away from Hartford. I don't believe. I think it's
No,
like
just
what,
about 2 hours.
2 hours? Yeah, that's what I thought. Two
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. Being from New York myself, obviously, so I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm pretty much familiar driving over to Hartford from New York City. Whenever I had to go through to get to Boston,
Yep.
or or go visit some friends in Hartford and stuff, or go to the arena to catch some hockey there, obviously.
Mhm.
So, I haven't been to the stadium yet. Hopefully, I will get that opportunity one day soon and see you play over there and see what's going to happen. Who right now on Hartford City should we be looking at right now from your players? Who's red hot currently?
Wow. So I think we have a very talented squad. I think right now Theo Harris leads the team in goals with 5 goals. He's currently a rising sophomore at the University of Rhode Island. I say from a stat sheet perspective, right? He's the guy leading the line. But I think we have a ton of talented guys that are just starting to come back into the lineup and come into the fold. And I really expect contributions from a lot of guys on the roster this summer.
Very, very interesting. I wanted to also ask you this. In the U.S. Open Cup this season, we have seen tons of soccer in the New England region. Obviously, Portland, Maine, Portland Hearts of Pine, Hartford Athletic, of course, your neighbors,
Mhm.
Rhode Island FC. We always know about the New England Revolution, but I have to tell you, this New England region is just tremendous. I think there should be a separate cup competition for all these clubs, from the professionals to the amateurs, involving all these New England teams, because that that penalty kick shootout between Portland Hearts of Pine and Hartford Athletic was just unbelievable. I could not believe the battles we've had between those two, and then Portland against Rhode Island FC, and then Rhode Island FC against New England Revolution. I mean, is there just a lot of smack talk happening in New England?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pride for the clubs, regardless of what level they're playing at. I think that's just maybe part of a New England, ego and the culture. And I think when you compare the amount of teams across the different divisions that are in a 2 to 3 hour drive, right? That's like kind of what you're seeing over in Europe, right? Where fans can travel pretty easily to an away match, right? As opposed to jumping on a flight and flying 5 hours across the country. So I think that ability to drive a couple hours and play a competitive match and get in the car and drive home against some opponents that you recognize and I think that would be a pretty amazing opportunity if we're able to get to that someday.
No, I agree with you there, and hopefully that will continue on. Let's not forget Vermont Green as well in USL too. So
That's right.
that's going to be fun to watch, and hopefully you'll get on that run. And obviously, this club has been in the Open Cup in the past a couple of times in a row. I mean, obviously that's always a goal, and do you feel this is a playoff run squad right now? I know it's still early. I know it's only 5 games. You still have a couple more to go before this regular season ends. But do you feel they're going to make a playoff run here this season?
I think we're definitely capable of doing that, and I think we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of good character guys. We have a lot of good people, and all that's got to come together, for us to make a deep run. But I got faith in our guys, and I know that we have New York on Sunday, and then we have a span of 3 games in 7 days. So very much replicating the college soccer model. But I think with the depth of our squad and the talent that we have and the type of character that we have in our squad, I think we have the capability of, advancing to the playoffs. And but obviously we're going to take it one game at a time, and it all starts on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Any superstitious things you do before each and every game, or you're not a superstitious guy?
Nothing too crazy. Probably just a pregame coffee is really about it.
Just a pregame
Nothing.
coffee?
Yeah, nothing too exciting. Nothing too
No.
exciting.
You
No.
go to the Dunkin' Donuts, or you get your own blend?
Usually make my own at home. Something
There you
from
go.
yeah.
Smart man. Smart man.
Save a
That's
couple
what I.
bucks that way.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Just fill it up yourself, and don't even worry about making a stop over at the gas station, because that stuff will kill you.
Right, absolutely.
But other than that, uh, as we continue on here, um, Hartford City, it's been around for a good while. I'd say like what, like almost 10 years, a little over 10 years, I think.
2015.
2015. So 10-year anniversary right now. What's that like to be one of the oldest clubs in this conference?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just an honor to be part of a historic club like Hartford City. It has been successful in the past, and I think it's a club that has ambition to keep growing and keep going forward, and not necessarily just being okay with the status quo. So it's really just an honor for me to represent the club and the values, and to lead this group of young men and college players to creating a good experience and hopefully getting some more results throughout this
Mhm.
summer season. But it's definitely an honor to be part of a club like Hartford City.
Mhm. Do you always get the fans that come over or future players that you might see, if you've seen them maybe in AYSO or US Youth Soccer, or they've been playing in high school, do they come up to you after the game? Do they ask you questions? You try to, do they even ask you, like, can you see how my form is? Can I show you? I mean, what do you tell the kids that, they want to play for your club?
Yeah, so it's a very obviously very competitive club, right? And I think we always have more interest in our club than players that we can accept in terms from a roster standpoint. But we always tell guys, right? You're going to be in a professional environment where we're going to have 30 guys at training, but only 18 guys can make the roster. So at that point, you're all talented players, but it's going to be the small things that are going to make the difference in selection, from work rate to attitude, mentality to you name it, because everyone's talented. But at the end of the day, it's some of the intangibles that are really going to make the difference in terms of a quality player and a quality team.
No, absolutely, and hopefully you'll find more. You'll unearth some gems there, and hopefully they'll be the ones that want to start off in Hartford. So, especially at Hartford City. So we'll see what happens there. When the way you play, and this is your first year, I believe, with Hartford. Is that correct?
Yes, it is first season.
So what? I'm not asking for the playbook, obviously, but
Yeah.
just your style for the club. I mean, you like to press, you like to defend, you like to counter. What do you believe will make Hartford City dangerous each and every time you play 90 minutes?
Yeah, so we definitely want to be a possession-oriented club. I think that suits the types of players that we have, and it suits the style of play that our players want to enjoy playing in the summer season. So we definitely try to be a ball-playing team. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we really just want to be super organized. And whether that's pressing high or sitting deeper, it's going to depend on the game. Um, right? Just the nature of NPSL is each game is a new challenge with new players on both sides of the ball. So sometimes you just got to problem solve in the middle of the game in terms of, hey, we can press this opponent a bit higher. Hey, we're better off sitting a bit deeper and countering. But just defensively, we want to be super organized and committed to whatever tactic we agree on for that match. And sometimes that even changes during the match because different problems arise.
No, absolutely. You gotta be on your feet. You gotta make sure something goes wrong. You always gotta change tactics on the fly sometimes. So,
That's right.
yep, you just gotta always be aware of what's in front of you and try to change things up as much as you can if you have to change things up. And then, of course, at halftime, if you're leading, you have to make adjustments anyway to keep that lead. So,
Mhm.
we'll see what happens in going forward. But other than that, I mean, it sounds like you're having a fun time so far in Hartford.
Yeah, it's been a great start. Definitely lucky to have a great staff, a great owner, great players and people to surround our program with, and great athletic trainer Ethan, who's there every session and helping us out. So honestly, just very lucky to be surrounded by such talented and hardworking kids and staff.
That's great to hear. I'm very happy to hear that you're enjoying yourself, and hopefully you'll make it one day. If you get into a big playoff run, hopefully you get to the final. We'll see what happens. And of course, let's not forget that big Open Cup spot if you do get back there again. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, Andy, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate you coming on tonight to talk about yourself and Hartford City FC. Hope to have you on again soon, and please, good luck this weekend and the rest of your season.
Thanks, Daniel. Anytime. Really appreciate the opportunity to be speaking with you.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, it's Andy Parker, head coach of Hartford City FC, as we get ready to have some more fun here on the NPSL Soccer Show. Of course, this is episode number 3 of the 2025 season, and just always having some fun with these players, head coaches as well. And it's just great to hear. It's just great to see, and just love to talk about these games. And you try your best to stay on top of the situation, try to do your best, and get them ready to go. And you just have to get ready and be ready for anything and everything that comes your way. So now we're going to go ahead to our next guest. He's coming from us. He's coming from, I should say, Motown, FC Motown, Morristown, New Jersey. And I think we just lost him in the green room. Yep, there he goes. Now he's back up. Don't hit that wrong button there, but hopefully, he'll be ready to go right now. This is Mr. Ethan Hagen. joining me tonight. Good evening, and how are you, Ethan?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to see you on the show, and thank you for joining me. So, what is it playing for FC Motown that gets you excited when you're facing, not just facing, but I should say, being on a club that is known to be one of the best clubs in this league?
Man, I mean, when I joined the group last year, it was like something new to me. So I was first, I just wanted to start and work hard. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. And then I realized how good of a group we have. You know, we have so many talented players that it was just a joy to play with. So when every weekend when we were playing games, it was an excitement to just go and attack this game. So I just, I look forward to it every weekend, just playing with these talented group of guys. I mean, we have so many college guys, post college guys, and guys who were just starting college. So it was like nice to just, it was refreshing from, a college season and just being able to relax and play with a good group of players and just something different from what I'm used to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from right now? Where are you living in?
So I live in Union, New Jersey. I mean, towards the north. There and back with Hoboken, where I go to school at Stevens Institute of Technology. It's very close by, 30 minutes away. So I'm there and back. It's both, accessible for me, and when I'm here, I feel like I'm at home sort of when I'm at the field with, the gym and everything. So it's nice being at home or being at school, and so I'm able to just play with the group of guys that are here and playing with the group of guys that when I'm home, whether it's at the club of PDA or FC Motown with those guys, around there.
Mhm. Now, of course, I'm very familiar with Hoboken myself. I know Stevens is just very close to the eastern side along the Hudson River, and you're one of the lucky ones that gets to play on that field turf pitch
Yeah.
along the Hudson River, obviously with that view of Manhattan. So you can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, man. It's even last. I think it was last night. I was on the field playing just a pickup game. Just pickup game on the water with some of the alumni on Stevens. We're all super connected, so it's like nice being able to just play with those guys, develop those connections, and just be on the water. And honestly, I think for myself, I don't cherish the view enough. I mean, like the view is just beautiful, but like for me, I've grown up around here, so it's like seeing the city every day. It really is like just a remarkable scene every day.
Okay. Okay, this is not a difficult question, but if it feels difficult for you, I promise I won't hold it over your head. Best pizza place you've been in Hoboken?
Best piece. All right, I'll say with a group of guys, it's with a group of guys who at least enjoy it. It's Karma Cafe. It's a very traditional Indian place that I'm able to just enjoy a classic, good, warm meal with. I don't know. It's unmatched. I mean, there's also another place like Antique Bakery. They have like the best dessert banana bread. I don't know. I would say there's so many good places here.
Mhm.
It's hard to decide like what is the best place here. I would say.
Right. But I mean, like, best pizza place, though, like on
Oh, pizza
Washington Street.
place.
Yeah, pizza place on Washington.
I would have to go with Basil's. I mean,
Okay.
it's on the corner. It's the most famous spot here.
Uh-huh.
Probably a bit too expensive. It's a lot, but I mean, it's worth the money. And like my friends here, I mean, like they know that
Hmm.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I used to go to the one on First Street in Washington
yeah.
on
I
the
mean,
other side, on the other side of the street where City Hall is. That's the one I would always go to.
okay, yeah. I think that. I mean, honestly, there's so many good places here, especially in Jersey. Like they know how to do the pizza right compared to like
Hmm.
other places and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's very true. Yeah, but we won't insult those places. I promise
No,
you
no, no. We
that. But anyway, Ethan, so I just found out that you will be going to the Maccabea games, and you'll be participating in that. Now, I understand it's across the globe. You'll be in Israel, I understand. So, what are the Maccabea games?
So the Maccabee games are, I guess, to simplify it down for everybody else, it's the Jewish Olympics. It's
Hmm.
a place for Jews to come to Israel to compete from their countries for every sport, whether it's bowling, running, you know, baseball or whatever sport it is, competing for, the bronze, the silver, the gold in Israel, and just competing in these group stage formats, like the Olympics and stuff like that.
No, that's very good. Very good. Sorry about that, folks. I had a little bit of a technical issue that just popped up out of nowhere. I apologize about that. Um, but anyway, that sounds like it's going to be a fun time. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it and have some fun, and hopefully you'll do well. And this will be for soccer. You'll be competing for soccer.
Yeah, no. So I'll be going for the U.S. Men's Open team,
Hmm.
which is basically just all age groups. I mean, they have younger age groups, and then I think there's a plus 45 age group.
Hmm.
And so I'll be just going for the Open, which is just that big range.
Hmm.
So that big range, I mean, I just met the guys last weekend in LA. We
Hmm.
had a little camp there, and it was honestly a great experience being there, just meeting all the guys, meeting the whole team. It's hard to find as close of a group as you would find in college, who are bought into the program and stuff like that. But everybody there was, committed. They wanted to, do the best for the team, for USA, for the Jews from USA, and so it was nice to have that camaraderie with everyone, and who are just e- excited to just succeed while we're there, overseas.
That's great to hear, and hopefully you'll do well. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about your club right now, FC Motown, right now in the Keystone Conference in the East. Um, Big battle between yourselves and New Jersey United AC. Right now, they're undefeated in those 5 games, but Motown right now in second place with 10 points. You
Mhm.
played 1 game more along with Jackson Lions, the Philadelphia Union Developmental Squad. And of course, it's Westchester United and PDA is at the bottom. But what difficulties have you had with New Jersey United AC so far?
Yeah, I mean, they're a new team in the conference, right? So it was took some time getting adjusted to. I mean, last year was my first time into a semi-pro team, and you know, it was a level up. It was a different level that I had to get adjusted to. So playing against this new team, NJ United, who had a good season last year in a different conference, and putting them into our conference, it was something that I don't think we were exactly ready for. I don't think we expected such a good challenge, and we were already used to, I guess, dominating and being in control of these games. But now, like in our next game against them, we're going full blast, ready to just dominate, ready to take control, ready to just, win this game. It's important. Like we're used to, dominating games and winning the season, winning the conference I would say with a sort of ease. I mean, I wouldn't say it was super easy, but this NJ United team, they have some talented players. They have Max Barboda, who's very creative. Guys who want to work hard, guys who are dying to be on this field. And one of my teammates from Stevens, Joseph Pino, plays left back on that team, and I think he embodies like what it means to play in this summer conference. Guys who are just bought into the sport, who just love the sport and just want to work hard for those 3 points every week, week in out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Who's your head coach right now?
Head coach is Torre. I mean, last year we had Dilly Duca and Torre was working with him, and now Torre's stepping up. He's a very good mentor for all of us on the field, whether off the field. he's giving us life lessons, giving us, mementos to take upon ourselves. And I enjoy like every second that I have with this team. And tomorrow we play with we play against Jackson Lions at their place. I'm, so excited for the game tomorrow.
I can hear it. You're really ready to go, and hopefully you'll get the result that you need to move forward. And then when you get back, when will you be? When is this tournament beginning in Israel? The Maccabiah Games. When is it scheduled for?
So right now it is scheduled for June 29th.
Mm-hmm.
The first week and a half, I think, is just like a little preseason camp to get adjusted to, the weather that is in Jerusalem. So we'll be staying there, getting used to the weather, getting, a little bit of fitness, getting the tactics right with the coach. I mean, we had 2.5 days playing with a new group of guys, so it's not all going to mesh well right away. So those 10 days that we're there in Jerusalem is kind of just to get used to playing with each other. And then I think on the 12th of July, we start the games, or maybe the 9th of July, we start the games. And then we're playing like 5 games in our group stages. And then hopefully, we go on into the semifinal and final and hopefully win gold. Yeah.
Get some falafels. It's pretty good over there.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the food there. I mean, that's the whole experience, is that culture, that, the food, the religiousness, the community. That's what I'm excited to embrace while I'm there.
Exactly, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I have family there, so I've been there before, so it's a lot of fun. It's a great place to go to, and it's a lot of culture, and it's great to see. And hopefully you'll enjoy yourself. Hopefully you'll be successful. You get yourself a medal. Hopefully that'll happen.
That's the goal. That's the goal for sure.
That is the goal. Well, Ethan, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the FC Motown season. When you're ready to go for the Maccabiah Games, good luck there and represent us well, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. You have a good night as well. And that is Ethan Hagen from FC Motown getting ready to go to the Maccabiah Games in Israel. As it's great to talk to him. It's wonderful to talk to him, and we'll find out more from him hopefully when he gets back, and we'll talk to him again hopefully when he returns, and that should be a lot of fun. That should be exciting, and it's the first I've heard of it, so I don't know how long that's been going on, but hopefully he will be having some fun, and hopefully he'll bring back a medal, him and his teammates on the U.S. national team, so for those games. And just like, I mean, it's not just the regular Olympics that there's competition. I forget the name. I know it's played in South America. Another form of Olympics. I just forgot the name now. My bad. I apologize, but I know there's those games in the Americas that do happen. Whether it's in South America. I'm not sure if it happens in Central America, but I know it happens in South America. So they have their own Olympics as well. I'll probably look it up real quick and see those games. If I can just take a quick look here in I shall Google it. Olympic Games in the Americas. And that is generating into my AI the Pan American Games. That's right. The Pan American Games. That's what I remembered. Forgot the name of it, but thankfully for Google, it helped me remember it. So very happy to get that done, and just making sure that I knew what I was talking about. Because I remember it was the Pan American Games, but I forgot what it was. And of course, it's mostly for those countries in the Americas, which is, of course, North America, Central America, and South America. Probably believe the Caribbean as well. So, you know, this is our own games, and it's pretty good to get a medal in these games. Well, anyway, folks, we're going to keep on going with the show. I've had this gentleman on my old version of the show on Blog Talk Radio. Now, for the first time, I have him here on this new version of the Four Hastings Five American Soccer Show from the Westchester Predators, Westchester United Predators. It is Blaze Santangelo joining me tonight. Blaze, it's great to see you for the first time. I hope it's great for you to see me.
Yeah.
How are you, and what's going on, my friend?
No, doing very well. Good to see you again. How you been, Daniel?
Very well. I'm doing very good. Thank you very much. And
Good.
Westchester United has been a staple, not just in the NPSL, but in Eastern Pennsylvania. You're just a little south of Philadelphia. What has been this season been so far for your club this year?
Well, we start every season in September. Actually, I would say, I guess August when we're putting our U.S. Open Cup. If we're in the qualifying rounds, if we haven't qualified nationally with one of our national teams, we start getting together late August, and we go September through May to June in our full season leagues, which for the longest time has been the USL of PA, where we play majors and reserve divisions. And laid in with that is usually our state cups, which usually start in October. And in the last couple of years, we've had to go through the open qualifying rounds for the U.S. Open Cup. So that's also in the fall as well. So we have a tremendous amount of games with that group for a good 7 to 9 months. We train through the winter. A lot of the college guys come back. But this year we also joined the APSL under a new badge that we have. We started the badge last year as we got our second NPSL team. And so we decided to join the APSL, which in the fall was actually called the EPSL, so it's gone national. And we are in the Delaware River Conference. So a lot of the players that are playing for the Westchester United USL of PA Majors team also are playing for the WC Predators APSL team. So there's a lot of conflict. We started off early. We were playing 2 games a day with some of the same players, and it was kind of rough in September, but we figured it out. We got more guys to step up and help out and widened our rosters, and we went on a great run. We won both leagues simultaneously, which is unbelievable. We won both of our state cups, the Amateur Cup and the Werner Fricker Open Cup. We played in the U.S. Open Cup in March against Loudon, lost to them 3-2. We were invited to the Steinbrecher Cup, which we were at last week because we won it in 2023. As soon as the first weeks of May hit, we're into 2 NPSL teams and a USL 2 program. And then on top of that, we have a huge under 23 program on top of that. So we have over 150 college kids in every summer. And it's probably one of the biggest clubs in the area. I don't know if it's going to continue to be sustainable. Everybody says it's unsustainable, but we continue to have success and win a lot. And we don't win everything, but we do have a lot of success, and our players are doing well and some of them are getting great college educations while they're here or have wonderful jobs now. Some of them are looking to be professionals and are getting contracts and getting trials. So yeah, we're a real busy club, and we having a lot of success. So some of our players have played probably 37 to 40 games in September, which is like professional number of fixtures in the course of a 12-month period.
No, absolutely. And somebody's walking behind you back down the hallway. And
Yeah,
as we
that's
talk
the boss.
That's the boss, huh?
She probably heard enough. I'm actually home tonight. I'm only home because we had to cancel a game due to thunderstorms. But
oh no,
yeah, so it's okay. It was like a friendly for our U23s, but we'll reschedule.
there you go. Well, hopefully you'll get that game in sooner than later.
Yeah.
Just to talk about the Hank Steinbrecher Cup, you know, that the man did a lot for the game in this country. And just to be invited to that obviously is a big honor.
Yeah.
You've won it, like you said already, in 2023. You were in the semifinals against fellow NPSL side El Farolito.
Yeah.
Just talk about being in that cup competition after that man who's done so much for the game.
Yeah. So in 2023, we were invited to it, and we went out to Tucson because Hank was living in Tucson with his son at the time, and they decided to have it out there because he was in deteriorating health, and so we were actually the last team to receive the Hank Steinbrecher Championship Trophy from Hank himself. And I had met Hank in 2016 because we went to Chattanooga and played and lost to Chicago Fire down there. So I had met Hank multiple times at multiple national stuff. But yeah, great man in the game, and really proud to be able to have met him and been in his tournament. And it wasn't funded in 2024, so we kind of were the reigning champs as we won it in 23 against a very, very good Ventura County team. They came out of the USL2 and were the USL2 champs. So when the Pan Cyprians were unable to attend, John Mata called us up and gave us an offer, and we said, hey, let's give the kids an experience. And, when we drew El Farolito, who's been grinding everybody up from professional clubs to NPSL sides and anyone else they can get matches with. I mean, yeah, we knew we brought our USL2 guys up, so it was a younger group, and yeah, they pretty much bossed us the other day, last Saturday morning. We ended up losing them 3-0, but we learned a lot about the game and about how El Farolito plays, and yeah, they're very, very special group of guys, and like they have top skill and they play with reckless abandon, and you got to want to be able to get stuck in, and we made a couple mistakes and they pounded us on it, and so yeah, it was a learning experience for our kids, and it was great just to be invited to the tournament, honestly. So
That's great. No, that's great to hear. So here we go. Brand new things here on this new version of the For Your Scenes Fire American Soccer Show. So here you go, Blaze. How you like that?
Well, okay.
Graphics. Now,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but still though, you're tied with Pennsylvania Classics.
Yeah.
4-1 record right now, no losses. You both are unbeaten at this point in time, even though they have +2 better on the differential than you guys. But being in this Keystone Conference in the Western side, what's it like to face these clubs, especially, an Open Cup champion like Philadelphia Ukrainian Nationals?
Yeah. So we know well, let me just speak about.
Uh-oh. He pulled his own plug. Hopefully we'll get him back. He pulled his own plug in the middle of the conversation. No. Hang on, everyone. He'll be back. I'll when he gets back up, I'll put it back up. That's what happens. Ready to go. Next thing you know, gone. Hopefully there's no lightning storms going on in Westchester, Pennsylvania right now. So hopefully we'll get Blaze back on if we can. That's what happens. We saw the long time ago. Kaylor Hodges over in Birmingham when there was a lightning thunderstorm hitting, and all of a sudden it's gone. Say goodbye to the signal. Hopefully we'll get him back on. If not, we'll try and get him back on another time. But hopefully he'll be able to get back in there. Yes, he is. There he is. What'd you do, man? You pulled the plug.
I hit a button. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I thought you had lightning coming back into the area.
All right, so your graphics. So we did play PA Classics, and listen, last 2-3 years we played them. Every game has been a grind. We tied them in a match a couple weeks ago. They played really well. Neither team actually finished very well. It might have been 0-0 score or 1-1. But it was a great game between the 18s, and both goalies had some saves. So it was a good grindy game. We look forward to going back and playing them again. The Philadelphia Ukrainian Nationals, we played them twice this year in the NPSL, but we play them in other leagues all throughout the year in cups. So we've had success there in the first 2 matches, and we have a third match with them, I think, on Wednesday night of this coming week. So yeah, I mean, even Electric City, we went up to Electric City and played them, and that was a hard, grindy game. We had to, bring top guys to get a result there. So every game here, I mean, we played Hershey the other night because of our fixture schedule. We brought some of our younger guys, and given some guys rest, and we were able to get a result. So they're struggling a little bit this year, but they're the last 2 years we've played them in playoffs, so we have a lot of respect for them, and they're great people as well. But I like our conference because all the people are really, really good people to deal with, and it's good when your competition are people that you can deal with, away from the white lines as well, and enjoy dealing with them.
No, exactly. And that's how it should be, Yeah, you're going to battle each other, for the full 90 minutes, but off the pitch, I mean, you want to make sure you have a good working relationship with everybody because you're all doing the same thing, really. You're just in a different part of the state.
Yep. Yeah, we're pretty tight. Like, we're lucky not to have crazy amount of travel time. I mean, everybody's within an hour or 2 of each other, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then you play these other clubs in these other leagues, like you said. You have a league team in the APSL. I mean, how many times do you go against like United German Hungarians?
Well, this year we played them twice in the league, and then we've played them in cups as well, once or twice. I think we played them 4 times this year. So, they're going through a rebuild now, and I don't know. We've been having pretty good success in the last probably 4 or 5 years against those teams.
That's okay. No, I mean, that's great to hear, I should say. I was going to say, I know someone's making noise behind you. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Unless it's the boss trying to get your attention for some silly reason. I don't know.
I don't know. It's tough over here.
It's tough crowd at home, isn't it? That's
yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're as busy as any club out there. And this weekend we have regional, the USASA Amateur Championship, which is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against New York Pan Cyprian Freedoms, which is another huge program to play against. So we're kind of really lucky. And the NPSL is because we have 2 teams in that league. It's a really good anchor for our entire program to build through. Even though it's just the summertime, 12 weeks out of the year, it helps us recruit a lot of players. And I would say we're anywhere from 150 to 200 players with, our 12-month a year program.
No, that's great to hear. And obviously, I wish you a lot of success, obviously, because I know you're doing it the right way. And still, though, I just hope it continues on this successful run that you guys are having. And hopefully this season, make the playoffs, get on the run, get back into the Open Cup, and hopefully make a big run yourselves for the 2026 edition. That's all I hope for you.
Thanks, Daniel. Great talking to you. Mrs. Santangelo says good night.
Okay, Mrs. Santangelo, thank you. Thank you for letting me
Daniel.
borrowing Blaze for a while.
All right, Daniel.
All right, you
Thanks
have a good
again.
night. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
All right, Blaze Santangelo, Westchester United over in Pennsylvania, as in Eastern Pennsylvania, as we had a little bit of a hiccup. I think she said, "Nope, you're done now." But anyway, great to have him on. One of the best guys in this league, of course. Like I've said, there's some great people in this league, and Blaze is one of them. Always happy to have him on and talk about his club in the region they're in. And this is why I get excited, and this is why I have a lot of fun, and this is why you talk to these types of people, because they come in And, they want to talk about what goes on with themselves, what goes on with their club, and what goes on in their region because, they do a lot of hard work over there to wherever they are in this league. And that's why I try to celebrate them and I try to give them this platform to talk about why they've been so successful, why they're doing so well, and why things are going well for them. So I'm happy to do that. I'm grateful to do that because once again, this show, even though it's NPSL centered, in reality, this is my show, American soccer. It's not just what goes on in the top. It's not just what goes on in the middle, but also at the bottom. And, I want to give everybody their opportunity to come on this show and talk about what they do, how they do it, and allow them to be just themselves, have the freedom to talk about the game and what they do. So that's why I always love to talk about them and have them come on. And now we're just waiting for my next guest tonight. And of course, we all know about this club. We've seen them do amazing things during Open Cup runs. And once again, they've had another big run in the Open Cup. This season, unfortunately, they fell short in the third round against Sacramento Republic, but they only coughed up one goal. And as we've seen so far, their success in going deep into the Open Cup, success last season, of course, winning the NPSL championship. It's great to have going on. And it's just wonderful to see these people coming in and doing wonderful things in this league and representing this league in different cup competitions. So, once again, it is just exciting to talk about El Farolito, and we're waiting for Santiago Lopez to join us right now as we are getting ready to have him on. And right now, after I just said that, he joins us tonight. Santiago Lopez of El Farolito. Santiago, before we speak, how dare you send burritos to Mike Watts and Devin Kerr on that broadcast? Where are my burritos?
I I ended up. Hey, thank you and pleasure meeting you. Finally seeing an
Finally,
image.
yes.
Big fan of your show, and it's always a privilege to be here. I ended up seeing the recording after that match, and I was also very surprised they ended up getting burritos. By the look of the burrito, I'm pretty sure it was not ours. So don't worry.
Okay, good. I feel better already. Fake El Farolito burritos.
Yeah.
But anyway, Santiago, thank you for coming on tonight. Pardon me. This has been a great, I would say, season and a half so far for your club. And I'm going to put this up right now, and this is brand new now, so you'll see it coming up. You win the NPSL championship last year. You reach the third round. You take the top prize money for the amateur side of that went the furthest in the Open Cup, and now recently you won the Hank Steinbrecher Cup this year. What is this hard work that you put into this club, representing not just the section of San Francisco, but the area and the ownership that runs all the burrito joints in San Francisco to have this come so good?
Yeah, for us, it's a great privilege to have an opportunity to represent the club in San Francisco and the soccer community. For me, it's a commitment. It's a lot of pride, and thanks to my father, who he invested a lot of time in his team and his business. I ended up learning a lot from him, and for me, it's a privilege to represent him, even if he's not alive anymore. So I always keep that in mind, and and for everybody else here in San Francisco to identify themselves with El Farolito, and to hopefully they feel with pride that we're going out there working every week and try to get these results and bring some silverware back to San Francisco.
Absolutely. And, winning the Hank Steinbrecher Cup, what does that mean to you personally, winning this championship named after a man who's done so much for the game in this country?
Yeah, it's huge. I was explaining to the players the significance of this cup. Um, it's not so old, but a lot of these players are new to the country and they're new to the rules, and obviously letting them know that there's no promotion relegation, how the pyramid of soccer is, and for me to explain them that this person what he did for the game, um, it was even more of a pressure, I guess. It was more nervousness for them to be playing at that game, those games, and try to win it, and it was much more motivational for them to try to bring the cup. And thankfully, the ball rolled our way and we got the cup, and we're very, very happy. And it's a cup that I'm not sure of the previous winners, but I'm pretty sure we're the first one in San Francisco to bring it back.
And that's fantastic to hear, and just wonderful. You took on Westchester United in the first match. You beat them handedly 3-0, and then you took on Seacoast United Phantoms for the final. Only one goal. Just talk about that final. How difficult was that match, and when did you score that goal?
Yeah, it was extremely difficult because of the lightning storms and the delay. We were set to kick off on Friday evening. It canceled, and we ended up having to play Westchester on Saturday, and that was extremely difficult because Westchester, they have so many teams that it was impossible to identify which players they were going to bring out. So we had no idea who we were going to play against, but we show up to that game, and it was it's a surprise to see the starting lineup, but we knew they were going to be very intense, if we got our players to tired, it was fatigue. We're used to the West Coast time, so we ended up waking up at 7 in the morning to have a light breakfast, play at 9 a.m. They were tired, and then we go up against extremely fast and fresh USL2 team. They were local. They brought in six new players in the starting lineup that didn't show up the day before because of graduation. So we were up against a big test, and we ended up scoring, I believe, in the 30th minute off a free kick. We did a surprise. We work a lot on the set pieces, and we surprised them on the set piece. We ended up going up 1-0, and then we just slowed down the game. We were very fortunate to have these guys that have a lot of playing experience. They knew how to manage the game, how to talk to the ref. So we game managed, and we were able to come out 1-0.
No, that's great to hear, and obviously sorry about the weather delays, and hopefully that won't impact you again next time when you defend, or I guess you'll be defending that trophy next year if you do go. We'll see what happens there. Let me also now move on to your current season right now. You are defending NPSL champions right now. What a season right now, taking over Golden Gate Conference. You are undefeated with 9 straight wins. I mean, it sounds like your players, whoever returned into 2025 from last year, I mean, they want to defend their title. It really looks like you guys really want to go on another run here.
Yeah, definitely. We set new goals at the beginning of the season. We had 3 major championships to be thinking about. First one was the Open Cup, the second Steinbrecher, and then now NPSL. And so far, we've our first goal was to reach and play an MLS club in the Open Cup. That didn't happen. We ended up winning this cup last week, and now we're just 100% focused on NPSL now. So there's new clubs here in the region that we're getting to know, and it's great competition. But most importantly, this past weekend that against Westchester, and then the Phantoms, the Seacoast Phantoms, it was just a great reminder of what could happen and what type of teams we could play in the national finals if we end up reaching those. So it's great competition locally and nationally. So right now the new team from Modesto, the Cruisers, they're fantastic in the attack, and Cal Odyssey is extremely young and they're very vertical. They're very well organized, well coached. And Sacramento Gold is a very traditional club that has a great owner, and they know what they're up against, and they know what it means to run an NPSL club. So we got to prepare. We have to stay healthy. It's a week by week, and hopefully we could get to the conference finals, win it, and then think about nationals.
I have to ask you this, and going back to the Open Cup run that you had, I watched that on CBS Sports Network, your match against Sacramento Republic. I enjoyed that match. I know you were down 1-0, and I was hoping you would move on to the fourth round, but that was, I felt, great fight, great battle, great everything against Sacramento. I know you only conceded one goal, but, just to see your players battling out against one of the best in USL Championship on the Western Conference, I thought that was probably your best performance. Even though it was a loss, I thought your best performance in the Open Cup.
Yeah, it was. We love the U.S. Open Cup. Just the experience of playing against a pro, going to different stadiums, traveling. Um, these players really, really love it. I myself love it as well because I learn to coach and prepare my players as much as I can. And that game was amazing. Just going to Sacramento, seeing a club like that is so big and traditional in USL, and they know and they respect the US Open Cup. They had an amazing run in the past years, and just going up against two clubs that love the cup, to me it was just an extra, like you could say, extra spice in the burrito. Um, so it was fantastic to be in that environment and play against a team that a well experienced coach, international coach, and then all these players that are well experienced. It was just fantastic. It was amazing, and nothing against Monterey Bay, but from USL Championship as well, the ones that we beat in the previous round. But Sacramento Republic is just another level of club in the USL.
No, I agree with you there. Absolutely. I like what you said there. Extra spice in the burrito. That was really good. I like that. Um, if I can ask you this, and I know you're doing very well in NPSL, obviously, and you've done well everywhere else. Would there ever be a moment? I don't know if it ever happened, but if it did, would you like to build your own stadium for this club instead of using I mean, I don't know if Kazar is available, but I mean, would it ever behoove the club and ownership to maybe build a stadium of some sort?
Yeah, definitely. It's been in our minds, and the problem is funding and space in San Francisco. We've identified a property south of San Francisco, before the airport, the SFO, and it's a great property. It's great location with parking and everything. We're trying to get into details of that, but it's still very, very far away from getting something done. And the idea is to get maybe like a 5,000 person soccer complex with 7v7 fields on the side, and gym, and make it like a sports club, even a event center in which you could probably host concerts or graduation. So we've had that in mind, and we're exploring those type of projects, but it's very difficult. It's a lot of money. So for now, we just have to adapt with the public spaces and try to work with Park and Rec. And we're very, we're happy that somewhat happy that there's a new MLS Next Pro team coming into San Francisco next year, and we're not going to be able to use Kezar anymore. So we have to adapt to the environment, and we're going to probably stay at Boxer Stadium. And we're also looking to try to invest and remodel and help out Park and Rec to to amp up a little bit more of the Boxer Stadium, which is a very, very old, and it's originally our home field stadium. So there's some plans, and we definitely want to keep growing with the club, even the youth levels, U23 levels, and hopefully maybe in the future we could go pro at some division, but still very unknown.
No, absolutely. And as always, Santiago, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you for being on again tonight. Hope to have you back on again soon. Good luck with the rest of the season in NPSL, and hopefully you'll make that playoff run and back into the Open Cup. You have a good night, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Santiago Lopez, El Farolito, joining me tonight to talk about his club and the magical run that they've had, the magical run that they've been on. It's just been tremendous, and it's been fantastic. And, what we're witnessing in the lower levels of the club like this has been just big time. Absolutely big time to watch, and very, very happy for them that they are able to reach these pinnacles in all levels, in NPSL, Open Cup, the Hank Steinbrecher Cup, and hopefully they'll continue on with another championship. We'll see what happens this season, but right now it looks like they're very hungry and they want another title, and I'm glad to see that happen. So once again, thank you to Santiago Lopez for joining me tonight. Now we're waiting for my final guests tonight. Currently, the club is called Wildfire FC. This coming up will be Charlie Van Dam and Shannon Flanagan. Part of they were from Montana, and they're trying to gain a lot of support for their club over in Montana, and hopefully, make themselves big. And waiting for them to join us tonight so that they can talk about themselves, because this is really great. They had a friendly against Spokane Shadow of USL League Two, and that did very well. It did extremely well. So we're just waiting for them to show up and talk to me and see what's going to happen. Now, once again, we want to see these clubs be successful. We want to see these clubs do well, and we want to see these clubs become something great, not just for themselves, but they want to be part of the National Premier Soccer League. Well, we want them there as well. So we will see what they can do. And, once again, it is just exciting to hear such great news from them. And, we just want to see what they can do and how they're going to do it. So, we're just waiting for them to join me tonight so we can talk about it. And, we just want to see where they are. And, hopefully, we'll have a conversation with them, and we can have some fun here, because the point is we want to have some fun, and we love to talk about good news, because, this sport is on the rise, and we want to see what they're able and capable of doing. So, they want to come into the NPSL. We'll see what they do. And, we're just waiting for them to show up and talk about it, because we just want to see what they can do for when they want to be a part of the league. And once again, they played a friendly against Spokane Shadow. The the stadium they were playing in, the capacity is at 500. So if you went past 500, it's a it's a hazard of some sort. But they had 800 people there in Missoula, Montana. Now, I'll be honest with you, you don't hear much what goes on in Montana if you're in Los Angeles, California, or you're in New York or Boston, Miami, or Chicago, or Detroit, Dallas, Houston, a lot of country there, a lot of stuff going on in Montana, mostly, I would say, ranches and everything that goes on over there. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to stereotype Montanans, but I'm just saying you don't hear much what goes on over there. But still, though, I hear it's beautiful country over there. So if you ever go to Montana, if you ever been to Montana, I say go for it and let's see what happens. But still, though, I have to tell you all that to hear that you're playing a friendly against a club from a different league, and Spokane Shadow is USL League 2, that I know, in a 500 capacity stadium, and you get 300 more over capacity, and there was tons of media at this game. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. And so, I would love to hear it from these people. I would love to hear it from, once again, from Charlie Van Dam and Shannon Flanagan from the club. I would love them to come on right now and tell me about it because I really, really want to hear it. And I know all of you want to hear it. So it's exciting to hear these stories. It's exciting to talk about it because if we don't talk about stories like this, then the sport doesn't grow. And for the sport to grow, it's got to be done the right way. And so once again, it's a situation where, 9:45. Well, then again, then I messed up. I messed up on the time. Then I messed up on the time, unfortunately. Boy, did I mess up on the time. I think I cut off Blaze Santangelo too early, but that's okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring them on right now. I don't mind having them on early if they can come on right now. Would love to have them on if they're available. But we'll see what happens. I messed up there. That's my fault. I'm not perfect. I admit I'm not perfect. I misplaced the time, and we went so well. Went so well for this whole situation. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just really, really my bad. But that's okay. Love to have these talks and these conversations. But anyway, NPSL is just great to talk about. And once again, if I can just go back to about El Farolito real quick here, just to talk to all of you about El Farolito once again. That's a club that you can say is a club that can really do amazing things. But you know what? Let's not worry about it right now. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. So joining me right now, representing Wildfire FC, Shannon Flanagan. Joining me tonight, waiting for Charlie Van Dam to come on, unless Charlie will be joining us a little bit later. And of course, that's my apologies. I rushed you guys for no reason. That's my bad. I apologize about that.
Oh, don't sweat it. No big deal. Charlie should be here 7:45 on the nuts.
All right.
So, yep.
Great. So anyway, I have to ask you this though, Shannon.
Mhm.
talk about Montana, because obviously we don't talk much about what goes on in the northwestern part of the state outside of course, Portland, Seattle. But
Right.
how soccer crazy is Montana?
Oh, well, actually, there's a pretty good showing of soccer players in Montana. And on a per capita basis, there are more soccer players here than there are, say, in the state of California, which is a little bit interesting. We're obviously, from a population standpoint, a lot smaller state. But we have better participation in soccer than California does, which might surprise some people, actually, because I think of California as a very thirsty for soccer kind of place where they have lots of professional representation, soccer throughout the high schools, and it has been that way for a long time. The club activity there is really kind of amazing as well. So, but Montana is just a little bit more spread out, with 1.1 million people living in this entire state. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously they have amateur clubs that to participate in soccer over there.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like Montana Youth Soccer Association, but nothing pre-professional in the state of Montana yet. So Wildfire FC, the way we're visioning it right now, is an NPSL team, and we would be the first league affiliated pre-professional soccer team in the state of Montana. Yeah.
And that's fantastic. I mean, just to hear that you want to bring your club into the NPSL, or at least, whether it be NPSL or USL League Two or any of the other leagues. I mean, that's just fantastic on its own merit. I mean, just to be a part of this would be tremendous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure but we had our first exhibition match. So our first match as a pre-professional team last Saturday during the Intermountain Champions Cup here in Missoula. That's a youth soccer tournament that they have here in Missoula every year. And we had a sellout crowd. We could have, probably sold another 150 or 200 tickets that would have brought us up to about 750 total, maybe 800 for our first game, which I feel like is a tremendous success. It was a high quality game. And we played Spokane Shadow. Spokane's a team from Washington, in the eastern part of Washington state. So that's the next nearest significant population base away from Missoula. And we had a ball. It was a great time. The crowd was really enthusiastic. Although I will say it's kind of a funny thing when you have a crowd come out of a youth soccer tournament, when everybody's been instructed to not coach their kids and kind of be quiet and sit back and, not be bossing their team around the field. It was a little quiet initially, but things warmed up and it was a great game. We had a ball.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about Charlie, he's joining us right now. Charlie Van Dam, of course, also from Wildfire FC. Charlie, thank you for your time. I appreciate it as well. When you and Shannon gets together here, what made you both want to make this club be a part of the National Premier Soccer League?
Well, we see a great opportunity here in Missoula. We have a really amazing soccer community, and we think that they're going to embrace this whole idea of having pre-pro soccer. And the game that we had on Saturday night just proved that. It was fantastic, great turnout, great response. And it got both of us energized for next year. We just can't wait for playing a full league next year.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And if I can ask you this as well, Charlie, how many of the media came from Billings? Because I know Billings is one of the main cities in Montana. How many of the media came? Was it from all over the state?
Well, no, we didn't have anybody from the state, just local media. And that's one thing that we have to do. We're going to take what we experienced in Missoula on the road and show off to these other communities what the potential could be in Billings and Bozeman and Kalispell and Helena, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We think they will all embrace it. We're looking forward to that.
No, I can't wait. That's going to be a fun time. And Shannon, just to go back to you, as you said, you had so many people at this match against the Spokane Shadow. The stadium was a capacity of 500, and you exceeded it by over 300 plus.
Yeah,
That is amazing. I mean, does this signal to you? I mean, obviously you want to get off to a great start next season, but does this signal to you that there's plans now that maybe you can build your own stadium for your club?
Well, we're talking about it, so that's definitely in the conversation. And I mean, within reason, what we're thinking about is the sky's the limit as far as it goes. I do think that we're in a really unique place and time in the United States where soccer is growing and has been continuing to grow. Charlie even has the numbers probably, but in terms of what we see as the trajectory of this sport, I feel like with the youth coming into it, there are more kids playing soccer than baseball. There are more kids playing soccer than football. And I definitely see that potential for sure. In terms of building a stadium, Missoula is a little bit of a compact community. We live in the middle of the Rocky Mountains at the convergence of 5 valleys, which means that real estate is at a premium, and finding some place in the middle of town, which is where I would ideally like to build a stadium, someplace close to the heart of Missoula, is going to be difficult to do. But as things develop, I think we're getting the cart before the horse a little bit. We want to get through our first season. Our objective next year is to drive 1,000, plus fans to the stadium that we land at next season. And if we can do that, I think we are building a strong model, and I think we're building a strong argument that we could have a stadium in Missoula. Yeah.
Charlie,
that sort
obviously,
of stuff is going to take time, but we'll get there.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And of course, one step at a time. But Charlie, if I can ask you this, and I'm going to use the old adage from a line in a certain sports movie, if you build it, they will come. And it feels like you're building it and they're going to come.
Well, they came already. And it's not only just the people showing up, but the response and feedback we got from those people that were there that really is invigorating us. I find people, run into people last few days that I'm like, I didn't hear about the game. I missed it. I wanted to be there. And so there's just a huge fan base here that's going to, really soak this up. And it's not just here. I think we'll find the same thing throughout, this region, that they really will embrace the idea of having hyper-local soccer in their communities.
Yeah.
No, exactly. No, go ahead, Shannon.
I was going to say, the hyper-local part of this is where the roots are. But Missoula is in this beautiful place. And it's actually, if you haven't been here, it's a bit hard to describe, but you should check it out online is what I would say. If you like to fish, if you like to golf, if you like to hike, if you like national parks, if you like to play soccer, it's a great place to be outside. And I think one of the opportunities for us here as well is to kind of explode soccer out of Montana, because people are going to be coming and visiting Montana in the summer. Tourism is one of the things that's an economic driver in the state of Montana. And we're going to have a lot of people from outside of the state who are, see this as a target of opportunity, shall we say. And they come to a local game, get hyped up, and then take this part of Montana outside of Montana. And I actually see that as kind of something that I'm really proud of being able to be a part of. It's a pretty cool opportunity for sure. I don't know how you feel about that, Charlie, but yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, that's going to be our draw for, sure, bringing fans into the game, but also, targeting players that, that want to have, that want to play soccer and also have some outdoor experience. We've got so much to offer here. It's a great vacation place for anybody to come. And boy, can you imagine these college students, college players that say, I can keep on playing soccer and I can go up to Glacier Park or Yellowstone Park or float the river or go fishing or there's so many things we could do. It's going to be a great draw for players to come here because we'll have competitive teams and offer so much more that some communities just can't offer.
No, I agree. And I guess my question would be this: once you officially start your NPSL journey, what part of the region do you feel will be your full-time opponents? Someone in the Pacific Northwest, maybe even California, or some of the central region areas? Like, I know you're not far away from the Dakotas, especially South Dakota. Where do you guys see yourselves playing your league season in?
Our league season will be from Eastern Washington to across Montana, probably spanning from Spokane, Washington, which is, about 4 hours from Seattle, to Billings, Montana. And Billings, as you mentioned earlier, is like the largest population, but it's kind of far out there.
Yeah.
But
it's a 5-hour drive from Missoula.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you talk about the proximity, the distances are so large here. But I think as Montanans, being in this area, growing up in this area, we're used to those distances and knowing that travel is not that much of an impediment to get to where you want to go and to do the things that you want to do. And a lot of youth soccer players growing up here, they're used to going to Seattle to play. They're used to going to like Las Vegas to play. And so it's just part of the deal. When you're here, you just get in the car and get in the bus
and drive.
And get to the game.
Yeah. All I can say is thank God it's not winter, right? Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. Gentlemen, I have to ask you this question because it's the most important question of all, is that if you do make the playoffs and you go on a run and you get to that certain level and win it, you would be the first Montanan club to qualify for the U.S. Open Cup. We always talk about the Open Cup on this show. I love the Open Cup. I respect it. I always wanted to be improving in it, be better with it. What would that mean for your club if you do get on that run and you do win that level of the playoffs to go to the Open Cup? What did that mean for yourselves and everyone in Missoula?
Well, you say if. It's a matter of when. We are going to build quality teams. Our whole focus is to dominate the region, and then move to the next level. And yes, that is our dream. That is, part of our play, so to speak, is to get to the U.S. Open Cup, to, compete well in regionals, potentially make it into the national competition, national playoff. And that's our goal. We're not just want to put a team up. We want to have a quality team that can compete anywhere. And that would be, yes, compete in the U.S. Open Cup, a chance to play against a USL championship team or higher. That would be amazing. But we are planning on it. And our intent is to build a team that has the ability to make it there.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And in terms of some of our advantages is I believe that we have demonstrated in one game that we have a fan base that is excited about us doing something just like that. And the better product we can deliver to them, the better support we're going to get from them as well. So that energy will build upon itself. And that's a meaningful thing to a team, to Missoula. Missoula actually does have a reputation for having really high quality athletic teams from the University of Montana. The Grizzly football team has multiple national championships. They have a stadium in Missoula that seats just a bit over, I think, 26,000. And every home game, it is packed full. And it's kind of a remarkable thing. People who come to Missoula to see that sport are amazed at the energy that it has around it. I have no reason to doubt that soccer can't be exactly the same way right here in Missoula. And it would be a tremendous point of pride for both Charlie and I and our other two investors. So
Especially,
go ahead, Charlie.
I'm sorry, especially seeing Sacramento Republic having to come to Missoula to play a match.
Yes, I would love it. That would be the best. Yes, without a doubt.
No, exactly. That would be fantastic. I would love to see Sacramento Republic come to Missoula and battle in an Open Cup match. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And if you do face an MLS squad, I mean, there's the Timbers, there's the Sounders, the Galaxy, LAFC, the Earthquakes, San Diego FC. I mean, you could probably get another club south of you, like Real Salt Lake, Colorado Rapids. I mean, Colorado's not far, I believe, or even Utah's not
Salt
far.
Lake's a lot closer. Colorado's a 2-day drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Denver's a long ways away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, absolutely.
But, you know, we don't want to set, Daniel, we don't want to set our sights too high in an MLS team. We're shooting for USL championship. So we'll get there. We're going to get there.
No, I know you will. It feels really good. Look, I think you guys are on the right track, and look, you're taking it one step at a time. But you know, you're ready to go. I can see, I can see the expressions on your faces. To be honest with you, you're ready to go. You're ready to just go ahead, get the referee, blow the whistle. Let's go. Put the ball down. Kick it off. Let's go.
Yeah. We're excited for it.
Sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great to hear. And you said you had other investors involved as well in this project.
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Okay, great. That's wonderful.
Yeah. One of them is he owns he's Pete's Electric. He has a shop here in town and does commercial electrical work for big projects in Missoula and around the area. And then the other guy, his name is Nick Lawyer, and he's a physician's assistant from a small community that is a little bit north, but mostly west of Missoula, called Plains, Montana. I think they might have, what do you think, Charlie, 300 people living in Plains?
Oh, I think there's more than that, but it is a tiny.
Do you think there's more than that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a big community, right on the Clark Fork River anyway. Yeah. So those are our two other investors. They're both soccer nuts. And actually, Nick has a huge influence on Class B and C soccer and club soccer in those smaller communities across Western Montana. So honestly, everybody in the Montana Youth Soccer Association definitely knows who Nick Lawyer is.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, Union Omaha has done amazing things in Nebraska. And it sounds like you guys are ready to carry the flag for the state of Montana to get this club rolling and ready to go. I'm very happy for both of you. I'm very happy to hear what's going on in Montana, and I wish nothing but the best of luck to both of you. I really am rooting for your success for next season, the NPSL, and just in soccer in general. I want you guys to really carry the flag of the sport in your state and in your town. I'm just excited to hear about this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us on the show. Thanks a million.
I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you very much. Have a good night and talk to you again soon. And hope to have you on my regular show, hopefully.
Well,
That'd
we
be
hope to be
great.
back. We hope to be there in another year, and we can tell you what kind of success we have. Thanks, Daniel.
That sounds
Well,
good.
thank you guys. I appreciate it a lot. Charlie Van Dam, Shannon Flanagan, Wildfire FC. It's a big success in Montana. Thank you again, gentlemen, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
Ciao. Take care.
Take care. And that, my friends, is the end of the show number 3 of the 2025 NPSL Soccer Show season. Thank you once again, my guests tonight. Joining me once again, Fernando Barboto of New Jersey United AC, Andy Parker, Hartford City FC, Eric Hagan of FC Motown, Blaise Santangelo of Westchester United, and of course, Santiago Lopez of El Farolito from Wildfire FC once again, Charlie Van Dam, and Shannon Flanagan. My name is Daniel Feuerstein. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Join me again next time here, not only on the National Premier Soccer League show, but also on the Feuerstein's Fire American Soccer Show. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. So long, and bye-bye for now. Have a good night, everybody.